Hi. Hello, welcome. This is a Unit 7 review. Let's jump right into this. Number one, it says to solve each system of equations, you're going to do this by either substitution or elimination. And I look at number one and I think that's probably a good candidate for substitution because the top equation is solved for y. So I'm going to substitute y. Substitute. We'll call the top one equation 1 and the bottom one equation 2. So we're going to substitute 1 into 2. And we get x minus, and then the value of y is x squared is equal to minus 2. Then I want to put this in standard form, so I'm going to add x squared to both sides. And I'm going to subtract x from both sides as well, taking all of the elements to the right. So x minus x is 0. Negative x squared plus x squared is 0. So I get 0 on the left, and on the right I get x squared minus x minus 2. And then I want to see if I can factor this. So I say AC, I'll go up a little higher. AC is 1 times negative 2, or negative 2. And B is negative 1. And so I think, what numbers can I multiply to get negative 2? That would be 1 times negative 2 would be negative 2. And 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. So those are the numbers we're looking for. And then we can jump straight into our factors because the A value is 1. We can say 0 is equal to x plus 1 times x minus 2. Using these numbers here, x plus 1 and x minus 2. So this means x equals negative 1 is the value that would make this one 0, and x equals, or we could say x equals positive 2, which would make this one equal to 0. And this is halfway there. We're not yet done. We need to go back and put those into the equation. So we can put it in either equation. I'm going to put it in the top one just for fun here. Y equals x squared, but x is negative 1. Let's be a little more thorough here. This is when x equals negative 1. Y equals negative 1 squared. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. And so one of my solutions is negative 1 comma 1. I then want to see what happens when x equals 2. Y equals 2 squared, which is equal to 4. And so my other solution is 2 comma 4. And those two solutions are what we're looking for number 1. Okay, let's go to number 2. This time, elimination. I think we'll try elimination. I'm going to take this first equation and make it negative. I'm going to write it right below. Negative y equals negative 3 becomes positive 3. Negative x becomes positive x. So just went through and multiplied a negative 1 here, here, and here. And that gave me the opposite of y over here. So when I add these two equations together, y plus negative y is 0, is equal to x squared plus 2x plus x is 3x, and then minus 13 plus 3 would be negative 10. I then say AC is, I'm going to factor this, AC is negative 10, and B is 3. And so I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 10 and that add to 3. and I'm thinking 2 times 5 is 10. Where do I put the negative? I put the negative on the 2 so that when I add those, I get a positive 3. And those are the numbers we're looking for. So we've got x minus 2 times x plus 5. And that's equal to 0. So if these two factors are equal to 0, then I ask myself, what makes the first value 0, the first factor? X would have to be 2, or on the second one, x must be negative 5. I then want to plug those back into the equation. This time I'll use the top equation. Again, let's say x equals 2. What does y equal? Y equals negative 3 minus 2. And so that's negative 5. So one of my solutions is 2 comma negative 5. And then what happens when x equals negative 5? Y equals negative 3 minus negative 5. That makes that positive 5. So positive 5 minus 3 is 2. And so my other solution is at negative 5 comma 2. All right. You can take this solution and plug it into this equation here. The x and y values in for x and y in for y, and check to see if it makes it a true statement. And that's one way that you can check this so that you know that your answers are right. Number 3, let's see. If I multiply the top one by 5, because multiplying this particular term by 5 makes it the opposite of negative 5y, then I can use elimination. So I'm going to multiply the top one by 5 times 5, and I'm going to add it onto the second one. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10x squared plus 5y is equal to, and then negative 47. I'm going to grab my calculator. 5 times 47 would be 235. And then I add them together. X squared minus 10x squared is negative 9x squared. The negative 5y and plus 5y cancel each other out. And 10 plus 235 is 245. Now, I'm going to see if I can solve this by taking square roots. Since I don't have an x term, I'm going to divide by negative 9. X squared then is equal to 245 divided by negative 9. Let me double check my arithmetic. Oop, I made a mistake. Excuse me. This should not be 235. I was multiplying 47 by 5 is 235, but 5 times negative 47 would be negative 235. And that would give me negative 225 when I add them together. Now, when I divide through by negative 9, negative 225 divided by negative 9 gives a positive 25. And when I take the square root of both sides, I have to remember that plus or minus x then is equal to plus or minus 5. So there's two values there. I then need to take them back up and put them into one of the equations or the other, or both, to get the corresponding y values. So let's see what happens when x equals 5. I get negative 2 times 5 squared plus y equals negative 47. And 5 squared is 25 times negative 2 would be negative 50 plus y equals negative 47. Then I'd add 50. Y then is equal to 3. And so one of my solutions is the point 5, 3. Now, what happens when x equals negative 5? Well, same thing implies I got negative 2 times negative 5 squared plus y equals negative 47. Squaring negative 5 still gives me positive 25 times negative 2 is negative 50 plus y equals negative 47. So adding 50 to both sides once again gives us y equals 3. And so the other solution is negative 5, 3. All right, number 4. This one is solved for y, so it's a good candidate for substitution. So I'm just going to say I'm going to put that 2x in for y on the other one because this is equal to y. Y is equal to 2x. Then I can put 2x in here for y. So I've got x squared minus 4x plus 2x equals 8. And I want to put it in standard form. So x squared minus 4x plus 2x is minus 2x. And then the 8 comes across as minus 8 equals 0. And then I say, hey, what's AC? AC is negative 8, and B is negative 2. So I'm thinking 2 times 4 is 8. And if I put the negative on the 4, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, and 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2. So those are the numbers. So I'm going to write here is x plus 2 times x minus 4 equals 0. And then x then is equal to or negative 2, or x is equal to positive 4. Then I need to put them back into the equations. So if x is negative 2, I put in that top equation is really simple. Y equals 2x, or y equals 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4. So one of the solutions is at negative 2, negative 4. And then what happens when x equals 4? Well, y equals 2 times x, or 2 times 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So the other solution is at 4, 8. And those two solutions are what we're looking for. All right, we'll see you in the next video.